What is up, fellas? JPS Delivers here. I hope y'all are having a great Friday. I'd imagine, regardless, Friday's the best day of trying to understand the rest of your week, or the rest, well, not the rest, but the previous part of your week. The rest of your days when you want to talk about your 5 days a week. But Friday's a great example, right? Is because anything shitty can happen at work on a Friday, but you're content with it because it's a Friday. But if everybody had the mentality that it was a Friday every single day, just as because guess what? You know, Friday's just another work day. But people have that mentality completely changed and they can put up with much more stuff just because it's a Friday. You can't control it's a Friday, but people accept it on a Friday and they know that they're content with dealing with the stuff that, isn't very fun to deal with sometimes. And sometimes at work, it's a decent amount of stuff that happens at work that's out of our control that we don't like. But if everybody had a Friday attitude instead of saying, oh, 3 more days until Friday, say that, hey, man, it's 3 more fucking days until Friday. So I hope everybody understands that, my rambling right there. That's just all about attitude. And if we always had a Friday attitude, it'd be good. It'd be good. So, recently I did a couple moves. I signed on because I didn't want to have to deal with Festus Ezeli at all playing on my team. So I went ahead and signed on Tyson Chandler. He's going to play behind Mitchell Robinson because I got Mitchell Robinson playing backup center. He's not going to play. I'm kind of looking at these six right here. Um, yeah, like basically these six will be my core dudes. Jonathan Isaac, Kevin Knox, yeah, DeJounte, Bamba, Beal, Kuzma, of course. Especially these four. But he's going to be, Isaac's going to be more of the sixth man for this team. I think I got Zach Randolph. Zebo is going to be in there, but I think he's going to have even lesser role than what we saw with Trevor Booker. But he's going to be better than Trevor Booker. So, that's basically what I was saying. Trevor Booker was a poor man's Zach Randolph. Zach Randolph, even old, is still better than Trevor Booker. So, cool with that. Trying to get rid of Ilyasova at the time is a hindsight. Now is that I spent $7 million on him. I just don't want to deal with that. I have a lot of men's salaries on this team that I like and enjoy. Um, I know Kevin Knox, Bomba, and Mitchell Robinson. No, Mitchell Robinson signed a 2-year deal. So never mind, that didn't work out for. So yeah, gonna expect in the off season to have to well, I guess we'll get a deal with Kyle Kuzma coming soon to you. DeJounte Murray as well. We'll have to see how this all is. I know 2 more years, so we don't have to deal with Bradley Beal's contract all too much. But if we can get the rest of these, you know, out of the way and not that big, Trey Burks is the biggest out of any of them, and his is probably going to increase by about 10 more million. So yeah, should be interesting for this team. But let's go to see these rosters of these teams and kind of go through them. LeBron James still the best player. Obviously, we went through the top players right here, but let's look at the teams and see kind of like let's get this idea start of the season, who we expect that might be some dark horses for MVP. Some teams that might not have made the playoffs last year. Like, let's go ahead, look at the playoff picture last year. Last year's standings. So we saw Clippers, Suns. Obviously, we're the 4th seed, 1 game ahead of Minnesota, 2 ahead of the Rockets and Golden State. Pretty tight knit. We're probably going to see probably a 60-win team this season, I think. In the Clippers, that's my guess is that they're a 60-win team. I think the Lakers make the playoffs. I just don't think James's team's going to make the playoffs. We'll just have to see, though. Portland's in there, obviously. Dallas, one of the worst teams. Pacers, one of the worst teams. Bucks as well. I think the Bucks give it 2 years and they'll be in the playoffs, so that'll be nice. Cleveland, just we'll have to see, but a couple teams we'll have to look at. How Boston barely didn't make the playoffs. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. yeah, missed the playoffs by, well, tiebreaker to the Magic. It was tragic, but not tragic for the Magic, as Anthony Davis and De'Aaron Fox made their way through. You got Paul George. I think Atlanta might not make the playoffs. We'll have to see. We'll look at the rosters. The Miami Heat, man, that's a team that they got two dudes up top that, I mean, they're balling and hauling. We'll have to see. But that was the standings we saw from last year. I mean, this was the playoff 8 right here at the cutoff. Lakers didn't make it. Thunder did. Warriors there with, the likes of Donovan Mitchell getting re-signed as well. Porzingis, Levine in Minnesota. Kyrie Irving, Memphis. Damian Lillard, Phoenix, and then of course Giannis, Chris Middleton, Brooke Lopez, and Eric Bledsoe. Funny how those four got together, but you got Jimmy Butler, who I do not believe Jimmy Butler is with this team anymore. I don't see this team making the playoffs next year. I do not. I do not. But this team, yep, they got a young crew. I think Russ leads them to the playoffs. I think this is another year that Curry and them might have, but I just don't. I just have a feeling they're not going to win it. These guys will probably be more of a 7 to 8 seed. Um, Drummond and Wall still there. They got Ennis Cantor added to the team, which is interesting because I just don't see. I mean, we'll have to see if he can play some power forward with Andre Drummond, but they're definitely more post guys. Trevor Booker's there. I'd rather have Ennis Cantor over Trevor Booker, obviously. Defensively, it doesn't really make a difference. Neither of them are great defensively. That man's going to have to be their defensive prowess, as well as Gary Harris on the outside. John Wall's just not good at defense anymore. And then you got this Atlanta team that got rid of Clint Capella for some reason. But yeah, got some. As we go through these, I think a couple games have already been played. But you got Joel Embiid with this Philly team. Um, is that yeah, it's just Joel Embiid's a talent, man. He's really fucking good. I'd love to get him. That'd be interesting. Put Kuzma and Bomba together to get Embiid. That'd be interesting, but I don't know what to think of that. But this could be a team that sneaks into the playoffs for sure. Karis LeVert didn't increase all too much. You got him and Triple J, Josh Richardson. Say, I mean that's a nice starting five if you ask me. But maybe like have Carmelo start. That's the team. No, signed for 3 years, 50 million. Jesus Christ! I mean, that's I just yeah. When LeBron's doing it at 35, you shouldn't be paying Carmelo 16 million at that age. But George Hill, Patty Mills, we got Kenrick Williams, who plays right now on the Pelicans. Only reason why you know that is because of Anthony Davis drama. Shea Gillius. But interesting thing is I was like, oh yeah, let's look at if he played. Yeah, so far this season he played 40-minute game in which he had Joel Embiid had 46 points, 23 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks, a steal, and he shot I'm guessing 2 for 3 at the 3-point line. But you know, that's insane. That's an insane amount of points. I mean, one time I had a 50-30 game with him, which is insane, of course. This is insane right here, 46 and 23. I mean, 40 and 20, 30 and 20 is insane. 20 and 20 is an insane game. Just shows you the degree of that. We'll have to see who he played against. Played against Boston, and yeah, no one on Boston's going to be able to stop him. It's just like in real life if Boston's so he's 4 for 6. In real life, he balls on Boston, so very interesting to see him play that well. It was his career high in points, but it was not his career high in rebounds. No, it was not. But it's perfectly fine though. Last year, first um, All Star team and stuff. Karis LeVert, and then we'll have to see how they can just support him. But he's obviously the star on this team. Um, And it kind of seems that way too, like at the 76ers. It's just Ben Simmons needs to get his shit straight when it comes to shooting. His defense hasn't been all too good. And it's like, dude, if you're 6'11" and you're that athletic, you should be really good at defense. And you should get better at shooting as well. Just it just baffles me. If you have a talent like him, athletically, and then you got the likes of Joel Embiid, you should easily. I mean, I don't know if it's lately that's been the case, but I just don't feel it sometimes with Ben Simmons. Just weird, just weird. But the first pick in the draft, the Fucks got themselves the guy they wanted because between them and the Pacers, they actually drafted well for fitting a position they needed. They got Jose Rivera, fucking Diego Jose Rivera, who can shoot the ball, which is gonna help. They got a young team between them. You got Nerlens Noel as well. You got Dawson, Grayson Allen. I mean, there to be pretentious for your team. Um, Trey Lyles got signed for 13 million a year. I mean, that's just pathetic. That's just go ahead. I'd rather have Daniel House for 12 million and a half less, more than 12 million and a half less. You got Josh Okogie. The guy's been good at defense. This season, he's played really well. It's Bucks team. Look out for him this season. Let's see how they progress a little bit. I think Jason Tatum and Collins can get up to both 87, 88 overall. Really interesting. Bam, Adebayo, whatever. He's just an athletic, hustling rebounder and stuff. He's gonna suit well for the likes of John Collins and Tatum because Collins and Tatum can play. They're more athletic when it comes to their speed on the outside and stuff. I mean, Bam can just leap too. So this is just an interesting team for the future. Chicago, I think things are going to start, it's going to turn into Chicago Fire. And this team's just going to kind of burn down to a crisp. I mean, Boogie Cousins is Boogie Cousins. Don't disrespect the man because he could, shit on Jokic like he did 2 games ago, which is why he's there. He's there to be that down low presence because Draymond's a great defender, one of the best defenders we've seen in basketball. And it's been a treat to see him play that well, a guy who can play on the perimeter and down low. But when you're 6'7", you need a guy who's like Boogie, who's 6'11", who can just bully dudes down low. But besides that, DeMar got a little bit worse. Serge is not getting younger. Same thing with Bojan. Jordan Clarkson's there. Fred Van Vliet. But Van Vliet will help them, I think, a little bit as he gets a little bit older. His Cavs team's going to suck. Their defense is going to be terrible. Besides Marcus Smart or Rubio got 10 million. I mean, he disrespected my ass when I wanted to sign him, but whatever. Jalil Okafor got he got 1,072,000. I mean, he vastly improved. I mean, he's with Julius Randle. Julius Randle, man, it seems like even in video games, he's just like real life. He's getting. I mean, he got paid right there. Shit. Um, I think he'll get paid as well in real life. I don't know if it's that much. Who knows? We'll see. It seems pretty reasonable, I think, compared to what you see like Mike Conley getting paid 30 million a year, 35. But just like it's like the trade, like Julius Randle left L.A. to go, play away from the Lakers, and what ends up happening? You have those Anthony Davis rumored trades that was just going to send all of those fuckers on the Lakers to New Orleans with Julius Randle. That would have been fucking hilarious. But Tobias Harris, I mean, he's a good talent for sure. He's kind of been lackluster, but it is the usage in Philly when you're dealing with him and Joel Embiid. When he's going to play as the 4, because Ben Simmons is most likely going to play, you know, either the 1 or the 3, and you got Jimmy Butler who's either going to play, the 1, the 2, or the 3. You got JJ Redick who's going to play the 2 or 3. It kind of puts Tobias at playing the 3 or 4, and when you're the 4 right next to Joel Embiid, you're not going to get many rebounds. And you're not going to score too much. We got Jimmy Butler and Redick there. It's just, it's more of a fit to see if he plays well in the playoffs, and we'll have to see. The East looks really intriguing, but this team's not going to like the playoffs. I don't buy it. Randall and Okafor are going to be terrible down low defensively. I think they're going to get bullied quite a bit. I mean, they're going to put up points and get some rebounds for certain. but we'll just have to see. I mean, Jahlil Okafor, I had like 2K like 15, and when he was a rookie, and I actually got rid of Joel Embiid. I traded Joel Embiid, and I made Jahlil Okafor an All-Star, which is hilarious considering what ended up happening. But Celtics, this is a team that I could actually see punch their way in the playoffs. I mean, James Harden's too good, man. He's too fucking good. Chris Paul, he's still good. Not, Chris Paul from 3 years ago or even at times last year. But Draymond's going to help you defensively. I mean, Embiid just shat on them down low, so who knows what that. But their depth is not going to be the reason why they make the playoffs. Giannis, he's just got cramps. He's a little woman having some cramps. Um, but oh, sorry. Do not think they're actually going to be a 61 team. My apologies. Eric Bledsoe's no longer in the building. They got Saric to what I think is a pretty nice deal right there. I mean, 80 overall, guy who can play the stretch. Definitely a dude. I mean, who's like around a little bit younger than Mirotic, as you see what Mirotic is now with the Bucks. Um, Stretch four that can play well with Giannis, to where he can sit around and let Giannis attack the basket at will. Is that what you're getting with a Saric? And then Chris Middleton can run points sometimes. They're both dudes that can share the ball very well, as you can see in person. I mean, I'm really happy for Chris Middleton. All to him, giga motherfucker. Went to Texas A&M. And I'm proud of him because he left, just believing that he could play really good basketball anyways, just as a second round pick, and he proved himself. Now, here's where we're going to see. I think actually this could be the top seed of the West this coming season if my team isn't, if the Spurs aren't. Um, we'll have to see because Kyrie's still there, obviously. Steven Adams got a tad bit better. Marvin Bagley got quite a bit better. I mean, 83 overall now instead of like 79 or 80. Harrison Barnes, forget about the fact that he's 27. He used to be the number one overall player in high school and um, from Iowa, of all places, going to UNC. Josh Hart's there and stuff, but it's going to be these four, mainly these three. You're going to see Bagley probably turn himself into for sure a 20 and 10 player. You see 20 and 8 the first game, and we'll have to see Steven Adams' stat line. 26 minutes just doesn't get much done right there, but it's going to be more of a Bagley thing. I mean, I think Adams will be there for the stats that you don't see, kind of like the offensive lineman of the team. Is that you're not going to see, he'll get a double-double quite a bit, but you're going to see a lot of shot contests with him and stuff defensively. Not too many blocks. But here we go right here with Atlanta. Capella's no longer there. Devin Booker. You got Trey Young. You got Otto Porter. Thaddeus Young. Allen Williams. You got Landry Shamet or whatever. Anderson Newman is a new guy. He can shoot the three. It's a new man. It's a new man, man. It's Newman, the new man. Newman. But Trey Young, I mean, you seeing how he finished the season in this as well as real life. Guy's a baller. Obviously, still though, Luka Doncic is still the best player for them in the playoffs. For rookie of the year, and not in the playoffs. Neither team made the playoffs. Devin Booker didn't really increase all too much. I mean, by one overall, he's gonna have to work on his defense. He's a supreme talent though, especially in the offensive end. Here's the Heat. This is a team that I think can be the first overall seed with these four. I think for in the East, John Wall, Andre Drummond, Cantor's going to help on the offensive end. They're going to need shooting between him and Gary Harris. They're going to need a Cruz or something, whatever his name is, to help with shooting. I think the one downside might be 3-point shooting on this team, and that's where I think Gary Harris might need to get to about you know 16, 17 points a game. John Wall's not going to be able to do everything. Um, Another team, they didn't make the playoffs, this team, last time out, but Lonzo Ball, Kevin Durant. You saw Kevin Durant was able to play with Russell Westbrook, who's, a high usage point guard as well. I think Lonzo's going to be able to play with him. Lonzo, under the radar, then that's a 10, 4, and 2, 7 season, 2 steals per game. But I think he's gonna get over 30 minutes a game this season, and see 9, 4, and 3 for him. Kevin Durant definitely, you see 25, 6, and 5. Marc Gasol as well is going to help with defense. Demonis Sabonis is a good down low offensive presence. You're going to see Mikal Bridges, who's on the Phoenix Suns in real life. Kevin Werder, a guy who can just, or Herder, whatever. Herder. That dude can knock down the three. Markel Fultz, we'll have to see. He can't shoot. So we'll have to see if that athleticism or something. But Kevin H, he's going to be a dude that Lonzo and Kevin Durant can find 3 or 4 times on average a game. Maybe have 5 or 6 threes in a game sometimes. And then here we go. Eric Bledsoe, I forgot. He went to the Utah Jazz with Kemba Walker. It's going to be interesting. I think you're going to see two very athletic dudes moving around. See Kemba doing some catch and shooting. Yeah, Jaylen Brown as well. Justice Winslow. I just don't think this molds well. They don't have anybody down low besides J.J. Hickson. They got Juanacho, Hernan Gomez, and then Jeremy Grant. Grant's athletic, but he's just I don't know, just not feeling it because you're seeing dudes like this guy's Jaylen Brown's going to need to get better at shooting, but he might be able to work the ball around to pass it to these dudes, specifically him. But I don't think the scoring's good enough on this team, really. I don't. Besides Kemba, excuse me, a little bit of Eric Bledsoe, Jaylen Brown, of course. Justice Winslow, he's going to be a guy that's going to be kind of ball centric for a three, and he's not going to be able to catch and shoot all too much. Miles Bridges as well. It's just, I don't like what this Jazz team is doing. What the fuck are they drinking in Salt Lake? I think they're having too much salt from the Salt Lake because they're just doing some stupid shit. Now the Kings with Oladipo and Aldridge still. I remember Oladipo had injured himself at some point. Aldridge, not getting any younger. Emmanuel Moutier's moving himself up by, getting a little bit better offensively. He's not good defensively for sure, but he's improving at least. Ed Davis is there with Rashawn Holmes to help balance out a little bit of Aldridge. But Aldridge and Oladipo should be the main focuses on offense, with Moutier probably posting 12 and no, look at that, 22 points, 7 uh, rebounds. So let's see, 15 and 9. You're gonna see better than that, and then you got 19 and 10. That's nice, but don't think they're making the playoffs as well as the Jazz. Knicks think they'll make the playoffs for sure. I think they might be a 4 or 5 seed. I've seen Monte Morris. He improved quite a bit. Jeremy Lamb, of course, improving a tad. Tyreek Evans still there. Jeff Teague still there, but I think Monte Morris for sure. I think now you're seeing him jump Jeff Teague, and he's going to be the future point guard of this team to help out with Paul George. I mean, this guy, he could get 15 assists with this team if he wants to in real life, because Monte Morris is like that. He's a good point guard off the bench. Definitely helps for sure. But I mean, when you got the likes of Miles Turner and Lauri Markkanen who can spot up and shoot, catch and shoot, especially mid range, but pick and popping with Lauri Markkanen who can hit it from anywhere on the floor, as well as one of the best scorers in basketball is Paul George. There's not a worry in the world. I think Monte Morris is going to set himself. I mean, look at that first game, 12 assists, and that's just he get used to them even better. Paul George had 24 points. And there you go. I mean, I think that next team looks good. Lauri Markkanen, let's see. I mean, 13-7, still not all too great. Yeah, 12 and 5. We'll just have to see with this team. He's going to get better at download defense and stuff, Miles Turner, but they're going to be one of the teams in the playoffs for the East for sure, and I think they'll be in the middle of the pack. Team that didn't make the playoffs last year, I think they will. Will Barton's on this team, Reggie Jackson, Tony Parker, Daniel Tice, who I just didn't want to pay, but they ended up only paying him 1 million, 1.5 million, all to him. Danny Green's on this team. I think it's a playoff team for sure. I mean, Kawhi Leonard came back. Um, just don't see a team like this. They're athletically gifted with Barton, Leonard, Griffin, a little bit of Reggie Jackson, but I think it's going to be more so the Kawhi Leonard with this team. Just try to help out defensively as well as he can. Him and Danny Green are going to help out with that. Will Barton's going to play off the bench, so you're going to see Danny Green start for this team. Kawhi Leonard um, is going to, of course, start. I mean, no shit. But him and Danny Green next to each other, just like the Wingstop Bros of the old and what you see now in Toronto. So now this is an interesting team, I think, as well. I think them and the Knicks are two of the most prospected teams that I believe are in the best spot to move up in the East. Um, as I think they're already deeper teams than the Celtics. Anthony Davis is solidifying himself as one of the better players in basketball. I mean, we already know that already, but I mean, you got De'Aaron Fox, very athletic, gifted point guard, who's just gonna have to work on his defense and stuff. Same thing with Jared Allen, but as long as you have Anthony Davis around the court, a guy who can cover, him and Mitchell Robinson, I think, are two dudes that they can like. Have you ever seen a video of Mitchell Robinson? Because we already know Anthony Davis could do this. Guys who are just in the paint, and in a matter of half a second to a second, they're already leaping in the air and blocking 3-point attempts. That's how insane that is to watch how gifted they are. Um, and I want Bama to be like that, and I've seen Bama do that. So yeah, that's the case. De'Aaron Fox, I mean, 86 overall to help with that. Jared Allen's gonna get better down low. Um, Michael Porter Jr.'s there. This is a team. I think this team ends up being a top 3 seed in the East. Wouldn't be surprised if they're the second team in the East. In all honesty, behind the Raptors, I think the Raptors are the best spot right now for the top seed. But I do think there's a possibility that they get dethroned at the first. But Eddie Davis and them, I think, solid chance of being a top 3 seed for sure. That's my bold prediction. I think they're a top 3 seed, and I say that there's a strong chance they could be the second best team record wise in the East. Mavericks moving their way up. I mean, they're going to be good. I think they'll be, well, no. Nah, Clay Thompson, he's getting older. I know he's still going to stay at 88 overall pretty much, but Aiton's going to get better. He's gotten better. He's going to need to get better down low in post defense. I mean, he's a big dude. He just has to gain some size, a little bit of muscle, and then get better on defense. Derrick Rose there. Andrew Wiggins. Then you got TJ McConnell, Marquise Chris, Leroy Harmon, the guy drafted by this Dallas team. I think it's just going to be another team that doesn't make the playoffs. Derrick Rose, look at that, 25 million. Just that's desperation right there. Fuck Mark Cuban. That's some Shark Tank ass shit. I think this team right here stays around the. I think they move out of the top 3 of the East. I think if they do, they will be the 3 seed, and the Magic move above them. I think Magic are a better team than this team. Buddy Hill's going to need to get better at scoring. Aaron Gordon's going to need to get better, and we'll have to see. I mean, that's an interesting stat line right there: 22, 6-5. But I would like to see 22, 8-7 or something. 22, 8-5. Um, Buddy Hill, there you go, 19. It's fine if he gets 19 points per game. Look at that, 44 points, 11 rebounds. Jesus. But yeah, this team, I mean, let's see what Jakob Puerto does. I mean, still just not doing all too much this team. You got Damian Jones here from the Warriors in real life. But the Nuggets, this is one of the more interesting things too. So the Nuggets trade for Clint Capella. Why don't you just save yourself some money and get rid of Nikola Vucevic? You already got your offensive specialist, 24 years old, and he's 89 overall. I mean, it's D'Angelo Russell, and then you got Gordon Hayward a little bit, and then you have Mason Plum. And look at this. This team is like the Jazz. Like y'all need to just like talk to each other. One of y'all just means like, what are you? Y'all are like a fucking state apart. You be like, I don't care. Like you get high as shit for your negotiation, while the other team's fucking. It's not like you're gonna be at a downgrade. The other team's drinking too much salt water from the fucking Salt Lake. You know, just be like, hey man, I got fucking Clint Capella. I'll fucking trade you, like, Nikola Vucevic for fucking Eric Bledsoe and like a piece. or I'll trade you fucking Clint Capella or Nikola Vucevic for fucking Jalen Brown and another player. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, that's easy peasy. They don't even have a shooting guard that's worth a damn. This is terrible. Terrible. Pacers team. Um, they got Harry Giles right here. Yeah, like Lazaro Santiago. I don't give a shit if he's from Mexico. Like, dude, like, come on, man. What a waste of a pick. They could have had the likes of like a shooting guard to get or something. Get Jose Rivera, and have him and Spencer Dinwiddie match up as combo 1 and 2s. But this Pacers team, look at this Pacers team. I'm kind of looking at it right now, obviously. But Evan Fournier, Jeremy Lin, Austin Rivers. You got your bench right here, basically. I mean, Fournier is going to be a starter, but this is a nice starting five right here, I think. Rudy Gobert, defensive prowess. It's another dude that can get from the paint to the perimeter. Not as athletic as Mitchell Robinson and Anthony Davis, but yeah, he's one of the best defenders in basketball. Brandon Ingram, he's getting better. Spencer Dinwiddie's gotten better. I mean, Wendell Carter Jr. is going to be another future player for them. I like this team to make the playoffs. I like the Pacers to make the playoffs, and I like the Magic to move into the top 3 teams in the East. And I think the Knicks are up there too. I think the Knicks are a top 4 team in the East, and I think the Magic are a top 3 team in the East. Now, Pelicans, just not seeing much going on here. I mean, this is going to be one of the more fun teams to watch because I think these 4 guys can put up 100 points in a given night, just the 4 of them. Really? I could see 30 points by him. I could see 30 points by him. That's already 60. You just need 20 each by both of these guys. And that's fine. Is it plausible? No. But I'm saying on a given night, though. They got 82 games. So I like their offense. They're going to need to get better. I mean, this is an interesting team for sure. I say this could be a 7 or 8 seed, but we're going to have to see the likes of LeBron's team and stuff because we're seeing the Lakers move in and stuff. I mean, Towns going to have to get better on defense, but I do like this team right here. I do like Drew Holiday, Jamal Murray, and of course Cat. Pistons team, they're out of the playoffs. I mean, just in the moment's notice, Jimmy Butler's gone. They're out of the playoffs. I don't, Dwight Howard's too old. Rodney Hood is not good. Chris Dunn, it just hasn't gotten really much better. I mean, a lot of people I even bought into athleticism and stuff, but there you go. It's the reason why he was traded so easily. Raptors, that's going to be, again, I think Raptors most likely the top seed in the East just because Curry's Curry, man. It's Curry's Curry. That's it, you know? And everybody else pretty much got better on their team besides him. I mean, even him a little bit. Rockets right here. Now, to me, this is the top team in the West. This is the top team in the West. I forgot. Ironically, Jimmy Butler did actually end up in Houston, but it was a video game, folks. This is the starting lineup for this team, um, as is Nikola Jokic, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Bobby Portis, and Terrence Ross, or Tarion Prince. And these are 3 dudes coming off your bench. Lou Williams, easily one of the best 6 men in basketball. The choice of Terrence Ross or Taurean Prince, and then Bisha Lisa, and then you got Kim Birch. But that's right here. Just these 8 dudes is a great rotation. And Nikola Jokic, Nikola Jokic is gonna get triple doubles, right? I mean, look at that game right there. Just first game of the season, 19, 14 to 7. It's the first game of the season he's doing that. Such a fun talent to watch. Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun with this to watch this team get better, and they're going to get better, even better defensively. I think that this is my bold prediction for the West is that this is the top seed. This is the top seed in the West. I think the Clippers might stay around top 3 seeds. This is my top seed in the West. Other bold prediction for the East. The Knicks and the Magic are both top 4 teams, and I think the Magic become at least the second best team, at least the third best team in the East. But this is a good Rockets team. Now I think my team's going to vastly improve and stuff. Is kind of even when it comes to the bulk of it. I mean, they've got
the better player out of anybody, but I do have a better 1-2 punch, I think, um, when it comes to Beal and Kuzma, the way I can use them. You know, I think the Suns team is no longer going to be a second seed. Just I don't think Holly Stein improving all too well. TJ McCollum, Derek Favors, but I mean Damian Lillard still Damian Lillard. They still got Josh Jackson improving a little bit. Here we go. The Thunder team still got. I mean Montrezl Harrell got better. I think they'll make their way possibly a little bit up in the standings in the West. Malik Beasley got better. Dennis Smith. It's an athletic team. When you think of Jordan, James, Smith, Beasley, they got four dudes that can dunk. I know James and Jordan are older, but I mean Jordan's going to help defensively with this team, and I think Harrell's going to help down low and stuff. Timberwolves. I don't think the Timberwolves make the playoffs. I don't. I just don't. Porzingis is a great talent, but I just don't think he makes the playoffs. Cantor's not there anymore. Levine's not good at defense. I just don't like it whatsoever. Rudy Gay, he's just older. Gordon Dragic as well. I just don't like it much at all. Ugh. But here we go. Trailblazers. Luka Doncic making his way up. He's definitely going to be on the All Star team this season. Mike Conley with this team still doing decently well, holding on there. Zubac got better. I mean, Nikola Mirotic. This could be a team that sneaks into the playoffs possibly. Um, they got a decent amount of depth. I don't know why they would get the point guard. Maybe because they expect Conley to kind of dip off in a year or two, and this guy should be around 80, 81. Let's see what his potential is. He's got a good mid range, but I mean, 81, his potential's not all too good. And then here we go, the Warriors. You've got Donovan Mitchell making his way towards the 90 range. Malcolm Brogdon, Tristan Thompson. I could see this team not make the playoffs. Honestly, I would like to see Nance get better and RHJ and Vonley got better. They got Colin Andrade or something, a guy out of Alabama, who I just don't know why they needed to. Maybe as a starting point guard and let Brogdon come off the bench. But Simmons, I mean, this is going to be another team in the East. I think this team makes the playoffs because now you got Nurkic on this team. Horford, all you have to do with Horford is switch him to power forward, and you could have him and Millsap play. Uh, I mean, look, because like honestly, you could play some Tetris with this team, and they'd be a top 5 team in the East. I think Thomas Bryant's going to be interesting how he fits well with this team. In all honesty, I think their main problem is going to be outside scoring. To me, I mean Caldwell Pope's not going to play too much time. Derek White's going to help with, but their defense is going to get good. It's going to be a good defense with Covington, Horford, Nurkic, Millsap a little bit. Thomas Bryant's a little porous down the middle, but yeah, if you because Millsap can play 3-4 because 6'8". Um, Same thing with Covington can play 3-4. Horford can play the 4 and 5. Nurkic can play strictly 5. Yeah, let Nurkic get very solid 28, 30 minutes a game at the 5. Horford play about whatever minutes Nurkic is not playing at the 5. So let's say he's playing 18, 20 minutes at the 5. And then he can play 15, 17 minutes at the 4. Let Millsap mix that up a little bit with Robert Covington. So I like that. I like that. We'll have to see how this Wizard team is. But yeah, that's a breakdown, and we just had the breakthrough with all these teams. Go ahead right after this, take a crap, and then get the first game underway and see how the first games go and first impressions. I know Embiid had the greatest first impression. Jokic had a good game as well, but that's my bold predictions. Rockets are the first team, first overall seed in the West. Um, Pistons aren't going to make the playoffs in the East. Um, I think the Wizards make the playoffs in the East, and I think both the Knicks and the Magic are top 4 teams in the East, and the Magic are at least the 3rd seed in the East. As always, y'all, appreciate the support. This was like actually one of my favorite episodes that I've done in this entire series. It's like episode 32, and this has been my favorite one. It's been a blast. I cannot wait. It's like starting it for the first time again. See some moves. It was a nice off season. Got a lot of re-signs, you know. by teams and stuff, not too much movement. And sometimes some of the movement just didn't make any sense. Capella to the Nugs, you got Bledsoe to the Jazz with Kemba already there. I just don't know how that works. And honestly, best thing you could do, have those teams talks amongst each other because that was stupid. As always, y'all, be grateful about everything that comes to you, especially the negative stuff. There's always a positive, and it's up to you to control whether or not you can find and know and understand the positive out of a negative. Later, y'all, and take care.